Reporting live from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the BallerAlert show. I go by the name of Ferrari Simmons.
I go by the name, BT.
OCT, what up?
Woo, the Dapper Daughters in the building.
Woo.
Yo, Dro!
Hey! Dro done walked in here with a flip
Polo
phone.
done.
Yeah, I got
Dro has a flip phone.
Dro has a flip phone. Well, I've seen this flip phone for a while.
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I seen a flip phone.
The last time I seen the flip phone
was right.
Hey, I said, hold on, Dro, what you got going on, man?
because I texted him and I thought he gave me the wrong number. It was a green bubble. I said, "Yo, what's going on?"
Yeah, so I mean, with my ADHD and that phone and like
You talking about with the iPhone
with the
previously?
iPhone, yeah, previously, like, you know, all on those apps and you know what I mean. That
So this does not have any apps.
No. You can't. It takes so long to text, man. It was like I be.
You gotta hit the numbers a couple of times.
Boom, 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 boom. So you know,
You can't even do a voice note.
Damn.
Oh damn, OCT. Oh shit.
So you gonna do me like that?
Oh, just saying.
Shots fired. Shots are
I'm
fired.
just kidding.
Nah, it's just it keeps my attention off of everybody else, and it keeps me, you know, like information I try to intake. I try to make sure that it's some, you know, something that's other than what everybody else knows. You know what I'm saying? I do get information from people. They be like, "Oh boy, you heard it?" I'm like, "Oh, okay," but you know, instead of me just taking it all in, because once I get through looking at all those apps and all that information, and I get to taking it in, and if it ain't good information, that's what I spit back out. You know what I mean? I spit back out the stuff that I intake, and most of that stuff ain't good. So half of the time I don't have nothing good to say. You know what I mean? If I'm all in that app and looking at everybody living their best life.
You've really been doing the work on yourself. You know, when did that start?
When I went to rehab, you know what I mean? I kind of was like,
How many years ago was that?
3
Okay.
3 years, April 16th. This
Yeah, you
year.
just celebrated
Nice.
your third year.
Yeah, third
Yes.
year.
Of sobriety.
Third year. Yeah, so when I did that, I was like, you know, what I felt like I couldn't do the stuff I used to do and get ahead from where I was at, you know what I mean? So if I was going to go to rehab, then I was going to have to change the women, you know what I mean? Because all of this stuff went with each other, like the drugs, the women, alcohol, this, the hanging out, you know what I mean? The friends that I chose, so I had to cut everybody off. And I love the people that I cut off. I still think about them and stuff like that, but it hinders me to go back and repeat what I already done and already see the results for it. You know what I'm saying? So changed the number, got a new phone, got off social media.
But someone still posts for you.
I'm supervised. So, you know, if it's something that I need to know or I have to do drops, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that's, you know, leveling me up. You know what I mean? We all sit down like this and they be like, this what you got to do. Boom, 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 boom. When I get through, boom, back. And I'm back on.
So there is a designated phone for you. You just don't use it.
Well, it's a designated phone for me, but I have to be supervised. Because if you walk out the room, I'm going to be like, what? You feel what I'm saying?
You checking them DMs.
I'm not disciplined enough.
Is that your phone, but you just don't have it, or somebody has it and they put all your stuff on it? Meaning, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I have my own phone.
Okay.
But I don't have my own phone. So, and then like I make sure that everybody has the code. You know what I mean? Everybody, like my management team, my lawyer, you know what I mean? My lawyer got in on it. You know what I mean? Shout out, you wanted to, hey, look, man, you can't do this. And I'm making sure you're not doing that. And you know what I'm saying? No, and I don't want to fall back into what that was. That's a rabbit hole that nobody wants to go down. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's almost like a nightmare that I woke up out of, that if I go back into it, I'm going back to the nightmare, and it's not healthy for my mind. You know what I mean?
Do you feel better? How you
Feels
feel?
100% better.
That's good. For the people like that don't understand how, you know, dealing with addictions and stuff like that work, could you talk a little bit about, you know, when you went to go get sober, kind of like what was your process and everything to kind of help a lot of people that really don't know the direction to take?
You have to have a support team. You know what I mean? I don't believe I could have done it without great management. Sierra's my manager, and also
She's running for office, by the way.
Running for office, man. Fulton County Commissioner, District 6. But she's also a doctor, and she has a doctorate in behavioral and mental health. So she was able to, You know what I'm saying? I'm like, something wrong with you, bro. I'm like, what? Because a blunt and a perk, and saline won't fix. You know what I'm saying? Because I could just drown this out, medicate myself like I thought was, I thought that was the way. So that process meant like, well, all right, I'm going to get your family together, the ones who do care, because, you would think that everybody in your family is on board. That's not true for me. You know what I mean? I don't know for anybody else, but everybody didn't believe it. I had some family members liked it the way I was because I gave a lot. You know what I mean? High all the time. You could just pretty much take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? And that was the same thing that went with in public. My friends, people that was around, what could we get from him? He got a show. Let's everybody pile up. We about to go to the show. He going to give almost all his money away. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get high. We're going to get drunk. And we're going to repeat. And we're going to do this for, 20 years,
What was your breaking point?
Well, the repeating of it, and then when I saw my child, you know what I'm saying, and I felt like that was a low blow. You know what I'm saying? When I see my little girl like that, I was like, man, I can't tell her not to get high no more, cause I'm having it in me. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing I could do is just go ahead and change myself. And then she saw it, and she actually clean now.
Yeah, I was gonna say salute to that.
Yeah, salute to that.
Next question.
Yeah, she clean. And I was talking to her the other day, man, and she was in her daughter mode, like, you know what I'm saying, Dad did. When I just started crying, I was like, man, I prayed so I wish I could have pressed a button. I thought it was a dream. I was like, what did I do to deserve this? You know what I'm saying? Then I thought about it, and I was like, I took my mom through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You have to humble yourself and see what you put people through. You know what I'm saying? And once you see that, you be like, oh, I get it. I needed to learn this lesson. You know what I'm saying? But my kid, what you do, show up in your kids, like the kind of person you are and the things that you do. If they're good things, then good things will show up in your kid. If they're bad things, then bad things will also.
So, having been through all of these things to be where you are now, do you feel like you wasted time when you were, on the drugs and all that stuff? Or do you feel like this kind of was a journey that took you to where you at now?
Kind of in the middle. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember? I mean, I have a moment. Can I share?
Sure.
I have a moment, man. I was hosting Compound, and you didn't even know what was going on. It was your album release party.
Yeah, I remember that day because Rocco was trying to give me some champagne, and they was like, he said he was just tapping
Rocco
me.
Was definitely there.
He was just tapping me, and I was just out of it. And then I turned, this dude like slick raised me. So I turned, I was like, what's up? And then he was like, so Patrol. I was so out of my mind, you know what I mean? And
that's when I got worried.
Yeah.
I forgot what the year was.
That year was one of those moments that I was like, because when I got the feedback off that night, they was like, yo, he was just standing there. And then I had this myth thing about me to when people used to be like, man, he be out of it, but when it's time to rap, I just used to turn on.
You were amazing. You were amazing.
But I would miss the best parts of the experiment, the people, the love, the paying attention, the want to collabs, and
the success.
What I mean? The success part. And then when I wake back up the next day,
I'll do it again.
Just do it again, and I'll be like, they'll be like, well, this person tried to talk to you, you said something to this person, you ignored this person, you said some real cruel stuff to that person. You're like, oh man.
Well, unfortunately, that's a lot of artists' journeys, like drugs and all that stuff, because they feel like maybe they are better as an artist or whatever. So it's just so great to see you come out of that and just be who you are. We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Now, Young Dro was actually signed before T.I.
Yeah.
Bigger record deal, bigger situation before T.I.
Like same amount, like the people were.
Was Raheem the Dream? Or?
No, it was actually Rocco.
Rocco.
Oh, you were signed to Rocco.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It was a Monica was in too on it, like, because she always has given me big support. So the Rocco thing, right? It was crazy, like, because I wasn't a superstar yet. I just had the pen. You know what I'm saying? I was good with the pen. And Rocco was like, man, and I used to just go around and be rapping for different people in the street. And you know what I'm saying? And it was so good. Rocco was like, boy, I'm gonna put the house on Shawty. So he built a studio for me. You know what I mean?
What
And
side of town was this?
this Southwest over there by Greenbrier, you know what I'm saying? And so when he built the studio, you know, him and Monica, you know, Monica was always supportive. I remember me and her first song was You Deserve. We redid the Hail Mary beat with Tupac. And man, Rocco had me with, I got a song with Juvenile. Back then.
You had some big records.
Yeah, I had one with Jazzy Faye, Bone Crusher, Turk, Bunt B, a couple of more people, Monica, of course. But this was all on one tape called Respect and Connected. And it, you know, Rock was just feeling his way through it, you know what I'm saying? And I think he pressed up so many of those CDs and he forgot to put the barcode on it. It was crazy back then.
That was a time when people actually bought physical CDs.
Physical CDs.
And you were selling them in the streets too.
Mm-hmm.
How much money were you making?
Well, we used to charge like $10 a CD. Okay. But Rocco gave me like 20 grand cash for my advance.
Wow.
Without even being famous.
What'd you do with it?
I blew it.
I think that's what most artists do.
but to be honest with you, I was so into my drug habit, but it was bad then because I was trying to hide it. And then like
all the way back then?
Yes. Like
Wow.
but because drugs have been in my family for a long time. My dad been using. My dad was using for like 50 years. Mm-hmm. You know, my aunties and uncles all died off of drugs. You know what I mean? They didn't live, nobody lived to be over 65, something like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and my grandmama like had like 7 kids, all of them smoked dope, except for my mom. You know what I mean? So for me to be on drugs, you'd have been like, go figure, you know what I'm saying? Because it had been embedded in my family that long.
Did you see it when you were younger too?
Yes.
You saw it.
I had to go buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like my aunties and uncles will come over and they'll send me to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew where to go get their drugs from.
When was the first time you wanted to indulge or did?
12. I started smoking weed at 12.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I felt a junkie was out there, man. One of my friends' mom, she was smoking. She was like, I ain't that boy. That weed gonna lead to something else. I was like, get out of here. And lo and behold,
she was right.
She was correct.
Did somebody introduce you to something heavier or?
Yeah, I was introduced to something heavier by just curiosity. I was like looking at my friend and I was wondering why they was acting, you know, more chill than everybody else. And I felt like, you know what I mean, I wanted to indulge in that. And, you know, of course, everybody, nah, man, you good. Then I was like, nah, I want to try it. Not knowing that I just thought they was having a good time that night. I didn't know that it was going to ruin my life. You know what I mean? I saw it, but I was like, you know what I'm saying? I knew what my aunties and uncles was doing. They was doing heroin and crack and, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hard stuff.
Hard stuff, you know what I'm saying? So when I was coming around, you know, X pills and cocaine and weed and, you know what I'm saying? That was, young people were doing that, you know what I'm saying? Then once I saw that, I was like, well, this ain't that, you know, because we used to be at big parties and, you know, everything was going on and everybody was indulging. I was like, oh, this is lit, you know what I'm saying? This is just, everybody just having a good time tonight. And, you know what I'm saying? Once I went in that rabbit hole, it just went.
How old were you then when you went there?
I want to say 18. You know what's crazy? I was the same age my daughter was. When she, you know, this is the generational curse thing that I broke.
But then you started making a lot of money.
Yeah.
So now you can support your habit and it gets worse, correct?
It gets worse. And you know what? I prayed, you know, when I first wanted to do music, you know, I really asked God. I was like, I really don't care about money. I said, I just want to have longevity. And, you know, and I was like, but if I don't get rid of this drug habit, I said, it's probably going to kill me. You feel what I'm saying? And it changed. I started morphing with the drugs when something went out of style, like when X pills was like popular. those became, I was like, the X pill was just stuffed with so much stuff. I was like, okay, this was enough. Then that time passed, then Molly came. You feel me? Then when Molly came, and then, you know, I'll spend 5 years, 6 years on X pills, 8 years on this, and then come the perks, then come the Xans, then come the lean, then, you know, and alcohol and weed stayed there. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, I was just morphing into different druggies, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, man, by that time, you know, I guess, you know, God just kept his hand on me, you know, because for somebody to survive that, and this goes out to anybody that's using and you still living, that means that it's still a purpose for you to do, because you can overdose.
Do you have any lasting effects? Like, does like your ribs hurt, or do you have like stomach problems, or
I'm good.
you have no stomach problems, like random headaches?
Did Rocco ever intervene with or did he ever say anything?
I hid it from him. I was able to mask it, like, because I thought, well, clothes was my creep out thing. Like, if I got fresh, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a method behind how I dress now. You know what I'm saying? Because I saw it in school. I was like, clothes keep people off from the attention about what's really inside of me. You feel me? Long as you can see me fresh and not my interior, I was good on that.
Like a distraction.
Like a distraction.
Because people wouldn't expect somebody that's dressed nice and that's groomed to be heavy on drugs.
Ultimately, that hurt me more than anything, because everybody was like, he all right, he dead fresh. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted that. You know, I didn't want you to look at me any different. You know what I'm saying? Because I'll say to myself on some arrogant stuff like, wish you would say something about me and I'm cleaner than you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You know what I'm saying? But like the way it tore up friendships, the way I did, you know, how, like, you know, breaking girls' hearts and lying and, you know, letting my mom down, and, you know what I'm saying? And people, I met some people who cared, you know what I'm saying, that was like, you know, like Ferrari or somebody that saw me like that, genuinely cared that, you know, this guy is tripping, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's other people wanted me in that position because it benefited them.
Yeah, nobody cares about a rich junkie.
Nobody cares about a rich junkie.
Now,
especially if he's good looking.
Now, when you was doing drugs, did you need the drugs to create the type of music that you was making? Because you was putting out a lot of hit records at the time, you know, still are today. But I always just wondered, does artists always feel like, I need to get high to get in the studio and create this type of music that people are loving?
I think that's the trick that the devil has. You know what I mean? He tried to convince you that God didn't give you everything that you need to, you know, be the best person you are. And I had to fight with that for a long time. Now, I do want to say that it did stimulate, you know, my brain and make me, you know, think stuff, you know, harder and concentrate, because that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But to say that that's true, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are equipped with everything that you need to be the best person on this earth. That God, you know, the gifts that God gave you, those are the best gifts, not drugs.
Yeah, I just seen the famous quote that Wayne made when he put out a documentary. He said, people are telling me to put down the cup, put down the lean. And he said, I ain't putting down nothing, because this lean got me more rich and more successful. So I just always thought about that, like, for a long time. I'm like, does every artist do drugs, you know, to make this popular music that we listening to?
I mean, you can lie to yourself. You know, you can lie to yourself. But the truth is, I'm not on drugs now, and I do great music. So I would be telling you, I'll be lying now. I did lie to myself and make myself believe that I needed that, but that was the crutch. Like, that was the move that the devil played. You know what I'm saying? You need this. You know what I'm saying? You need me. You need me. You know what I'm saying? When actually you don't, man.
Hey, Dro, so one of my favorite songs you ever did, I always wanted to ask you this question. I actually never asked you this in private, so I'm going to ask you right now, Revolt TV BallerAlert.
Yeah.
I don't know y'all, I don't fuck with y'all, yeah, because I'm a big dog. Can we talk about that record and making that record? Cause I saw you perform that live at the Pearl on a Tuesday night, and dog.
At the Pearl?
It's a club that's no longer there, Greenbrier. By the Greenbrier, was that Southwest? Correct me if I'm wrong? Yeah. Right by the Greenbrier Mall. Long live Shanad Johnson.
Yes,
because
Shanad,
that was his
man.
party.
Yes.
And I was there on a Tuesday night. One time for DJ J1. He was the DJ, didn't smoke or drink. Meanwhile, the club was lit. Big John over there lit. And I never forget, Dro performed this song. I was in general population, just looking up like, yeah, this is the reason I'm here. This is the reason why I love Atlanta. Can we talk about that song?
Yeah. That era was, you know what I mean, heavily inspired by, I want to say, Young LA, man.
One time for Young LA.
He kind of like, you know, showed me a different way of doing things because I used to rap so hard back then, and it was like before its time, and I was like, I can dial it down a little bit. But if, you know, when I decided to dial it down, I was like, you know, Young LA made me feel comfortable in that state. You know what I'm saying? And when I recorded it, you know. Summer Hill lingo was like, "What's up, big dog?" You know what I'm saying? Always like big dog, like everything was big dog. You know what I'm saying? And when I was talking about, you know, the lingo in there, I was really referring back to Atlanta culture. You know, how we, you know, how comfortable we are with how we talk and our slang, and you know what I mean, and all that bow and all that stuff that we was kicking.
Who it is? Bow.
Yeah.
Who she is? Bow.
You know what I'm saying? It just fit. You know what I'm saying? And when I decided to do the video, it just got big. Man, Mike Epps came. I had him in Chapel Forest on the west side. I'm talking about he was out there with one shoe on, one shoe off, digging boogers. I was like, this cat is super real. And I ain't, it wasn't nothing that I called. I ain't even have to call him. You know what I mean? He just pulled up, man, what draw it? I'm on the way. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, it's lit. Mike Epps over here in the hood. Man, so that was the first video that had a filter on it. If you look at the video,
I don't know what's a filter.
Like the filters on Instagram, like the color, like the color of it. You know what I'm saying? Like how you can color yourself.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Fine.
It was lit, man.
When did you meet T.I.?
We weren't famous. I think it was like
It was a rap. You said he stayed up the street from you or something like that.
Yeah.
On the King album, I think.
So we both was from Bankhead, which was. I stayed in the projects, he stayed in Center Hill. So in hindsight, we were already on the west side together. He just was up the street. In reality, we ended up moving to the same spot in Riverdale. So when I got
on the south side.
Oh, that's weird.
So when I got over there, I just, you know, I seen everybody kicking it, and when nobody really kicking it like us over there. So I'm looking at, I'm like, he had like somebody I know, you know what I'm saying? Then it came together, you know what I'm saying? And he was hustling and, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, you know what I'm saying? And I used to go down his house, you know, his mom used to be cussing, y'all in my living room more than the furniture. I was like, you know what I'm saying? But actually, we just connected. You know what I'm saying? I seen him, how he was moving, and you know what I'm saying? And I knew how we sold drawers in the city, and I seen how they were selling drawers out there. And he was telling me, boy, it's triple out here, cause you know, our dimes out here, they bought us out here. I'm like, oh, it lit, you know what I'm saying? So basically, man, we connected 16.
Was y'all rapping then, or?
We was.
That was
Tip
outside.
was doing beats, man.
Okay, he was making
Tip
beats.
was like he was a producer, like he was producing beats, serving. He was producing beats, serving, and boy,
Heard he was a barber too.
Just doing
Cutting hair,
every
pushing people lines back.
Yes, man. And me, I was just healing up because I had got shot like a year.
Why did you get shot?
Ah, man, it was crazy, man. Being in the wrong place, doing the wrong things, man. A dude tried me when I was young, and it kind of like, I want to say it shook me a little bit, but I knew I wasn't gonna suck out. So I was like, okay, you tried me like that, bet I'm finna go to Bankhead, cause I really wasn't from the area right there. I'm finna go to Bankhead, get my connect, and we're gonna come back over here and straighten it. And then when we went back over there and straightened it, you feel what I'm saying? We did, and on the way out, somebody came up to the car and shot me in the back, you know what I mean? Ooh. And I had to wear like colostomy bag, you know what I'm saying? You know, I was using the bathroom on myself, and like at a young age, I was out my mind. I was like, what the world just happened? Because I just thought we was going to do some, you know what I mean? Next thing you know, that was on me, you know what I'm saying? So by the time I met Tip, I was healing up from my staple. I had like 56 staples, and I had, you know what I'm saying, I had just got the bag reversed, you know what I'm saying? I think I was 16 turning about to be 17.
So you got shot at 16?
15.
15? Wow.
Then I had to, of course I had the bag. So once I went through that surgery, I had to wear the bag till I was like a year and a half.
The bag is you using the bathroom and it goes into the bag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't talk about. You know, when you hear people getting shot and all this stuff, because people try to glorify that in the streets, but people don't know the aftermath of what, you know, people actually have to go through or getting shot.
Yeah, see, my drug habit burst from then, like, I believe, because I was on some strong stuff in the hospital, right? And they used to give me this stuff called Demerol, and they used to be hitting me, and then like, and I used to be ringing the button all the time, and then the lady
a re-up?
the lady found that out. She was like, he's addicted, you know what I mean? And I really didn't know. I just kept saying I'm in pain, but most of the time I wasn't in pain. It was just that stuff used to knock me out. It was opiates, like, you know what I'm saying? So lo and behold, when I got out the hospital, and I was asking them, I was like, is y'all gonna give me that same stuff? They was like, no, we can't give you that. Like, on the way out, like, we're gonna give you some stuff to, you know what I'm saying?
Like Tylenol.
It wasn't
Probably something a little heavier than
it wasn't the
Tylenol.
good stuff. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? So when I got out, man, I was looking for that too.
That high.
Yeah.
Was Demerol on the street?
I wanted something to medicate me because that was addictive to me.
Yeah.
I had addictive personality, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted that fix again. So that's when it burst too. That's when I was like, okay, when I found something to have me sedated like that on the street, I was like, oh boy, this is what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so by the time I met Tip, I was healing up from that. You know what I mean?
But then you went and got to deal with Rocco before.
No, I had to deal with Raheem the Dream. So it's very complex.
Okay, so now the Raheem the Dream. 'Cause I knew Raheem the Dream was in there
Raheem the
somewhere.
Dream was first.
Okay.
You feel me? Because, you know, we was on the west side, and I was rapping at my cousin's. He was doing something on the at the bank, which was the bounce. You know what I'm saying? So I went in there, rapped at his show, and Raheem saw it. And he came and got me, and he signed me, and, you know, I had this song called Yes Sir. You know what I'm saying? This one, today people are saying yes sirski, you feel me? But I had an actual single called this in 2000.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like 20 something years ago. You know what I'm saying? That was my first single called Yes Sir. You know what I mean? Greg Street broke it.
No time for Greg. Damn,
One
that's
time for Greg
heritage
Street.
right there, boy.
Yeah,
Facts.
man. So that was the thing, and, you know, I had the deal before Tip. That's what it was.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was on the radio, so by the time he got on the radio, I had already saturated on the radio, and I think he was at the radio station one day, and I called up there. I'm telling Greg, I'm like, hey Greg, you know what I'm saying? I was like, that's Tip, and then Tip was like, who are that? And he was like, I was like, this Dro, and then he was like, you feel me? Because he knew DeWan, you know what I'm saying? I was like, did DeWan? He was like, you Dro? I was like, yeah, boo. Yeah, boo, you know what I'm saying? He was like, I had no idea, because my voice and stuff got heavy, like how you say that raspy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So when I met Tip, man, we wasn't rappers. We was just kids, man. Hey, check this out, man. It's your boy, Young Joe. I'm right here on the BallerAlert show, kicking it with Ferrari, Simmons, OCT, and BT. You dig what I'm saying?
Back with the BallerAlert show, we got Young Dro in the building.
Yeah.
Hey, fresh as always.
We was talking about T.I., you know, Grand Hustle years, y'all was off the charts. And I feel like do you feel like that was the peak of your success?
Yeah. I mean, the bigger part.
Because when Shoulder Lean came out, I feel like it just took over.
It was lit.
It's still a vibe today.
Yeah.
It was lit.
It's actually the dope thing about you, and I feel like you guys are those legendary artists. Your music is coming back because how radio is working now is they're playing all those hits from the early 2000s to 2008s, 2010s. So you're gonna hear Dro. I heard Whatever You Like the other day on the radio. I heard Shoulder Lean the other day on the radio. So it's starting to come back, which I think is a dope thing. How does that make you feel?
Pretty good, man. I always wanted to make music that, like, classic music, you know what I'm saying? Like, I listen to a lot of alternative music, you know what I mean? And those songs are around today. You know what I mean? Hip hop is the only genre that says, okay, we're done with this. You know what I mean? But you still can hear a John Bon Jovi song that's still popping. You know what I'm saying? You still can hear, those kind of songs still popping today. And I felt like, since I have a sense of that kind of music, I kind of had it in my spirit to make stuff that that you still got, that you can still play today.
You have an interesting story about how Shoulderling was developed. Can you give us that? Can you share that story?
It came from us not dancing, because the whole city was dancing, and I ain't knocking it. You know what I mean? I used to wish I can dance, but I couldn't picture myself dancing. But we was trying to fit in, trying to not be so much of an oddball. You know what I'm saying? So when Tip came, Tip was like, "Hey man, it's lit." Fabo them got Laffy Taffy.
But originally it was Tip's song, right? Or no?
It originally, well, yeah, he when he did the hook, right? Mm-hmm. He was gonna carry on. You know what I mean? And I was like, well, first of all, we knew that we wasn't dancing. And he was like, man, we could do this. We could do it. I'm like, nah, bro.
He trying to convince you to dance?
We was about to do some snap stuff.
Because you had Fabo, then you had the franchise
That's
boy.
what I'm trying to say.
We about to snap. We about to get snapping.
It was lit, but I was like, bro, I ain't never seen you dance. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, man, we can just do something. He said, what you think about this? And I was like, you know what? Go ahead. Then when I heard the hook, I was like, I got this, bro.
But was the beat already made when he was doing it?
No,
okay.
Because Lil C was there too.
Yeah,
but Lil C, Tip did this like acapella,
and Lil C is the producer.
Lil C came with that beat, man, and I remember hearing it. And when Tip put his voice on that beat, and Lil C, because Lil C did the beat around what he was. You feel what I'm saying? I heard that, and I had this like a dream, like a vision. I was like, man, when I rap this, I'm gonna say how fresh I am, and I could just see myself backing the crowd up and showing off my fit. I'm cleaning it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it just was almost like a book, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's so classic.
Yeah, man.
So it was easy for you to write.
Because then T.I. and them go to the club and you had to finish the song?
Huh? Yeah, they wasn't there when I did it.
Right.
Nah, they wasn't around when I did it. So back when I came, when I got through with it and they heard it, man, Tip then was like, man. So we ended up, he was on tour. We drove to Jacksonville, Florida. This is where the song was birthed at, because right at first it was just amongst us. So they were like, okay, that's Joe, it's hot. Man, we got to Jacksonville, Florida on the tour bus. And we had like a bunch of girls come up. Everybody was on the bus and we were having a good time. So Tip was like, put this on, boom. Man, when they put that song on, bro, we on them rocking like this.
That's how y'all knew.
It was like, who is that? He was like, Dro. Yeah. It was lit, bro.
That's how you knew.
We knew. Yeah.
Okay, so since we're here, this ends up being your biggest record to date.
Yes. Well, no, I think FDB was bigger than that.
Okay. Oh yeah.
You think so?
I know so.
Okay.
But did FDB chart higher than Shoulder Lean? Which one made you the most money?
I think that FDB is a more bigger song because it's everybody
feels that way.
Everybody can relate to it.
All skin tone of people.
He feels that way.
You feel me? And a lot of people know Shoulder Lean. Shoulder Lean went 1, 2, right? Then I sold 2 million ringtones. So that's like 4 million, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, because that was back
at a time when ringtones was big.
Ringtones was big, so I know it went platinum twice.
I know I bought it.
You know what I'm saying? And then you know what I'm saying? So I got a ringtone award for that song. You know what I mean? I remember Akon giving me that. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was the first one to get a ringtone award.
Wow.
Yeah.
Don't let Soulja Boy hear this.
But then you had We Be in the City. That was another big one.
That's one of my favorite.
I heard that
too.
played at the Olympics. That was a pretty big song. What? You know what I mean? I heard that. Somebody sent me that.
Your beats always crazy, man. You got an ear when it comes to beats.
Well,
I also like when you perform that song because you let it cut off and you go
acapella.
You go acapella at the end.
I try to let that's when I try to show people how much I like music. You know what I'm saying? People like, you know, you hear stuff on the radio, you hear people record, but a live show shows how much you're embedded into what your craft is and how you want it to be come out to the people. You know what I'm saying?
Now, did Shoulder Lean come out before Fat Joe make it
Lean
lean? Lean back, because I remember he was talking about like people in the South took, you know, his song and everybody just kept, you know, remaking it.
That whole debacle was weird because I don't remember. I can't tell you that I heard Fat Joe, and you know what I mean.
I just always wondered that because I seen him make, you know,
I saw that. That was kind of weird. You know what I mean. I seen it was
because it was a lot of lean songs after, you know, you heard Shoulder Lean.
But the thing about it is, I don't even think that anyone knew of anyone doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think franchise, knew Dro was doing it, or I was aware of, was like, oh, I'm gonna do a lean song.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Now you've had a very high profiled relationship. Can we get any type of who else were you in a relationship with that was kind of big that may have went under the radar?
Oh man, I actually, that was the only thing that,
because you famous folks be having relationships.
I actually, man, you know what? I'm a hood dude. You know what I'm saying? I for the most part, I was all about a fine chick from around the way.
Okay.
Tight, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it fit my persona, you know what I'm saying? Even though a lot of, you know what I mean, I smashed some stuff I won't say.
Keep it a P.
I won't say, you know what I'm saying? Whatever they did see and went public, you can have that, but I wouldn't tell.
Well, was there anybody that you was like, man, I can't believe, you know, this shawty done hit me up. You know, this was somebody that I always wanted.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
Or anybody now, or do you want to be married or anything?
I mean, well, right now, man, I'm working on myself, and I just had to separate myself from spread myself thin. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I've dealt with some chicks, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, some real good women, you know what I mean? And I mean real good women, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, once you done had your share of, you know what I'm saying, whatever you pick and choose, you know what I'm saying, you might, you know, you want to just make sure, I want to make sure when I jump back into this relationship, I'm whole. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna get nobody that's need to get high and not working on itself. And it's some stuff I went to the rehab because it was stuff I needed to re-grab. You know what I'm saying? About myself.
That's a bar.
What I need to be doing, how much of a man that I need to, you know, be to give to this relationship. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to shortchange the next person.
Gotcha. So could you ever date a woman that drink or smoke?
Nah.
Wow. No. So she can't drink or smoke.
I mean, you can drink, but you can't be an alcoholic. You know what I mean? I don't know. I ain't never thought chicks who smoke weed was attractive. Like, we do it later. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Would you say that's triggering for you?
It's not triggering. It's almost embarrassing, like, to just have a chick that, you know what I'm saying?
Or, I mean, anybody who can drink or
now, you
smoke.
don't think this is going to bother the women who smoke weed?
It just ain't for me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not knocking it. It just ain't, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because women be so beautiful, you know what I'm saying? Like, smoking is not good, you know what I'm saying? In so many words, you know what I'm saying? If you look at it, and like, because I got children to raise, and then for me to be saying, oh, you ain't gonna be smoking nothing, and then mama in there, like, come on, man, I cut it out for my son, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want him saying I got this from dad, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You know, I went through that with my child, you know what I'm saying?
So it's just not your preference,
not my preference,
and everybody got a preference too.
Yeah,
your preference is Polo.
I was gonna say, how was Dro the father today? Are you at all the baseball games or whatever sports?
I'm at the basketball games, and I had to learn how to be dad and stop wearing jewelry because I used to be going up there with 3-4 chains on, pulling up in these. You know what I'm saying? It was like, look, my son looking at me like, you just dad today, man. You're not young Dro. You know, like, shut up, I got albums to sell. But I had to humble myself, stop wearing jewelry to the games, stop dressing up so, you know, because sometimes I just go to these games and people be like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I got to learn how to turn it off. So right now I'm more conscious about what I let him see, about my attitude, about what I accept, what I don't accept, what's around me. You know what I mean? What I'm letting him see, what I'm letting him listen to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's different.
Do you see a lot of yourself in him?
A lot of it, and I have to correct it. And I truly believe this is one of the reasons why I'm not on drugs, because I'm able to see it. Now, if I was under the influence, I would let my child grow up to be exactly like me, and that's not the goal.
Mm-hmm. So you only have 2 kids?
I have 3.
3? Okay. Do you see music in their future or anything like that?
My son is gonna be great at something. I think sports. You know what I mean? He just turned 8, and he's so smart in basketball. He had to have this information at 5, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He knows so much about basketball. It would trip you out. You know what I mean? And his body, the way he built, like I see myself in him when I was young. I would cut up, and I played football before I got shot. But he has a football physique, but he loves basketball. So I know he's going to be big.
Okay.
Mark
That's
my
dope.
words. He's going to be famous.
That's good.
Now, do you work out? Like, what did you change about your life? Are you doing something that you've never done before that's kind of like new or
Yes.
exciting?
I get up every morning and I work out. Every morning.
You never did that before?
No. Whoa, no.
Like, do you jog to hit the elliptical? What do you do?
I walk 5 miles
Wow.
Yeah.
Every day?
every day.
5 miles is a
Yeah,
lot.
well-
That's a
Do you,
long time,
Is
bro.
your diet changed?
Yeah, well, it changes because I don't want to.
Still spicy dog meat? Pause.
Spicy dog
I mean, like I can't eat exquisitely. You know what I'm saying? I can eat, the alligators and the
Shark
the
meat?
Dover fish and stuff like that, squid and sea urchin. You know what I'm saying? I can eat that type stuff because it's not too heavy. But I do try to eat right so I can help out the 5 miles. I don't want to be eating too much.
Then
you know
be
what I'm
too
saying?
tired to
Yeah,
walk.
yeah. I got a little gym. Put it in the garage. I go work out. Do that. I do that every morning, and that's tough to get up at 7:30 every morning.
Tell me
to do
about
that,
it.
You know what I'm saying? So
Now, do you
yeah.
have a studio in your house?
No, I try not to. I don't play the radio at home literally because my choice of music. I don't want my son to end up picking up the wrong stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though I make that kind of music, I don't. And if I do listen to music at the house, it's alternative music.
So, how did the Glorilla remix come about when you got on that?
Because you brought that raspy voice back.
Yeah, Dro.
And you know what? When I be walking, I heard Glorilla rip the beat so bad, and it was.
Bad in a good way.
I mean, she killed it in a good way. Yeah, yeah. So it was inspiring.
So you know that clip made up.
some stuff she was saying about quit overthinking it. You running circles around these people. I'm like, get them, Glow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm like, man. And just to hear the young generation and just to hear it in her voice, like she was commanding the beat. And I was like, I can command that beat like that. You know what I'm saying? So and then I just found myself saying, yeah, Dro, all the time. And then dude looking at me, he was like, you did it? I was like, nah, I ain't did it. You know what I'm saying? Then I was like, you know what? Big John was like, go ahead and do it. I was like, I'm going to do it.
I'm time for Big John, my guy.
I'm time for Big John, man.
Now, how much you think over the years you spent on Polo?
Oh, man. It's
Over $1 million.
over $1 million. Man.
Over $1 million.
Because, like, I used to have
Had to be.
some serious.
Oh, you had
it
some
was a
stuff I've
sickness.
never seen before.
It was a serious sickness with that.
They
And I used
gave
to
you a
just-
deal yet?
Nah, man, I actually was up for it, and then I got into some trouble and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I think everything is, you know what I'm saying?
Happens for a reason.
Nah, Ralph Lauren got to call you $1 million in Polo. It's crazy.
Man, listen. In the first little section of my life, you know what I'm saying? I want to say when it first was starting out, I had just did like a quarter of it. You know what I'm saying? A $250,000. I want to say it's well over that. You know what I'm saying? 100,000 on Ralph is easy. You know what I mean? 200,000 is easy.
It's not cheap.
Dog, you were wearing the most expensive. I remember walking into Macy's at the mall, whatever mall it was, and like that stuff was expensive. Like that jacket right there, bro. I know that ain't. You know what I'm
This
saying?
ain't cheap. This inside.
Inside out jacket. Oh my
inside
God.
out, man, you know what I'm saying?
Corduroy on
Well,
the inside.
I'm gonna say this. You influence a lot of people in the culture to wear polo, and
Especially them polo boots.
Yes.
and
Everyone in Atlanta was wearing them polo boots.
and I'll never forget. I saved up money. I saved up like 2 paychecks. I was working at Route 21, and I bought some polo because of you.
Yeah, the numbers.
I definitely did.
You know, the numbers went up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
People used to be saying, I'm just like Dro," instead of saying the brand. You know what I'm saying?
I went to Marshalls and would get the polos when it was $39.99. I used to, remember that? Y'all got to know what I'm talking about, bro. I used to go to Marshalls or I would wait till they'll be right before back to school, tax free, and they went down before the new ones come in. You know, the old ones would be like $19.99, no tax. Bet.
So you got the polo. I hope you get deals.
We campaigning for a deal.
You can get that. Yeah,
We
'cause you
campaign.
deserve that second chance. But so you had the PSC project that you did. You had a couple songs with them.
It's gonna be lit, man. The PSC got a big project coming out with DJ Drama, man, and it's just that's gonna be. That has some real Dro stuff on it. Okay. You know what I mean? And after that, I think, you know what, me and Tip gonna do a joint album, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's gonna be lit.
Thank
I think we owe that to the public.
Yes, you
Yeah,
do. Yes,
y'all
you
dropping
do.
mixtapes. You
Yes,
got to
you
drop
do.
songs. Like,
Y'all owe it to the
You
culture.
owe it.
We
You
need to
owe it
own
to us.
Atlanta back.
Yeah.
We need that.
When is the book coming out? Because you have a story.
Yeah, the book, actually, man, you know what? My manager is an author. Dr. Sierra is an author also.
Shout out to
And
Dr. Sierra, 'cause
Yeah,
you did
shout out
your
to
thing. You
Dr.
did
Sierra
something.
because she does it all.
Yes.
She actually wrote a book before we, you know what I'm saying, got to doing business together. And she's a great writer, and she was like, I'm gonna write your story. And she you know, she documented, she has a lot of stuff like, hey, look, man, I seen this happen. I seen the boy go through this. I seen him overcome this. He came out of that. He got stuck right here, and it's just, you know what I'm saying? And she got the book together, and I think the book should be ready by 25.
I'm excited for it. I'm so ready for that. Where did you meet her, by the way?
Man, we had been knowing each other for 20 years, man. Actually, I grew up with her brother, Meatball, shot at the Camerton Road. Print, you know what I'm saying? Print locked up right now. You know what I'm saying? He actually, unfortunately, he went down in the bloody summer. He has life in prison. You know what I mean? We grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Meatball is a very important person in my life, her brother, you know what I'm saying? So when it was only right that, you know what I'm saying, I let her manage me and drive my career.
She really cares about you, bro.
She really does.
For sure.
Yeah, so we're excited. Anything else that you have coming up?
Me and Zaytoven got a project coming out.
That's
Okay.
That's gonna be fun. Time
I
Zaytoven.
can't-
He on the
I
list.
can't-
He on the show.
Yes, man. Zaytoven is one of the people that I actually, you know, took a liking to, that was on my level, you know, clean stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying?
He still goes to
He still
church
goes
on
to
Sunday. He
church,
plays the
drums.
piano. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He don't do
His
all
wife-
that.
his-
He
yeah,
ain't
his wife
doing
and my
no
wife
drinking.
friends.
He ain't doing no
Yep.
smoking.
Yep.
So when I got out of rehab, it was like God sent me to him. You know what I mean? And he's been a great person, and he's been perfect, you know what I'm saying, for what I'm going in life right now.
Dro, we are so proud of you, man. We thank you for always talking about the BallerAlert show. It is a home for you, man. Be clean
Still
outside.
clean.
Hey.
I had to dress up today too. I had to make sure, you know what I'm saying?
It's lit.
Had to get
Yeah,
right.
So, man, before we get out of here, we do have a pep talk.
It's your boy Young Dro, and I just want to say this, man. If you don't stand on anything, make sure you stand on principle. You know what I mean? Nothing else matters. If you get the principle right, then you good. You know what I'm saying? Put God first, and everything else is a walk in the park.
BallerAlert!